Welcome to head coach Scott Satterfield's post-game press conference. Coach starts off with a quick opening statement. Please raise your hands for questions. Coach?
Yeah, just first of all, just obviously disappointed in the loss. Did not play great, I didn't think, early defensively. Offensively, didn't get things going like we like. And I think, obviously give credit to them. They have some really good football players. When you think about the wide receivers that they have, Shador's a very accurate passer. And then defensively, I think they do a good job with their man coverage. We had problems, I thought, early in the game with the man coverage, trying to get loose. There's very tight coverage. It's hard to get the ball in there. And, but I did think I was really proud of our guys. When we got down 31-14, not to quit, to continue to play. We got back in the game. It's a one-possession game there in the fourth quarter. We got to get off the field there at the end. And, they make a career-long 47-yard field goal that barely went over the crossbar. Now we got a chance to go down there and tie the ball game. So, to come in here, it's a great environment on the road. Tough situation when you got to play this late and travel this far and all the things that go along with it. But I still love the way our kids finished and fought, and we came up a little bit short.
Questions for Coach?
With how good they were in man coverage, are there any adjustments you can make, or is it basically just hope your guys can get open at some point?
Well, at some point you got to get open, right? And you got to be able to throw and catch. At some point it comes down to that. I thought, at times we did a good job of finding ways to get the guys open and get them free. It really comes down to the one-on-one matchups, who can win against whoever they got out there. There was a couple times we were trying to get the ball to Xavier. I thought he actually got free, and then pressure was on us. They did a good job with their guys up front. They bring, one linebacker, so now you got a five-man pressure coming in there. And so they were able to get Sorsby off the spot a little bit with that. It's kind of go together, though. And I think that's why they're obviously a lot better team this year, because of what they do defensively. They're, offensively about the same, but defensively they're a lot better. But I did think Corey ran the ball hard. Evan did some good things out of the backfield, and Brendan ran hard. So I think you got to be able to mix in that run with that throw right there, so you're not just dropping back all the time against that man coverage.
Scott and Monica.
The 2-point try, is it the math or just your gut?
Yeah, it's a little of both. It is the math. I think, if you don't get that, then you got to get the next one. If you get that, then you kick the next one theoretically, and if you stop them without the field goal, then you win the game. And especially on the road. I think had we been at home, then that'd be a time we'd probably just kick the extra point. Now, if you get the ball back, you go down and see if you want to go for 2 to win it or kick the extra point. So obviously it didn't come to that. We didn't stop them and to get that field goal.
Coach, you started the game very even, both sides, and up until the touchdown before the half. What did you see from Shador, and how were you unable to stop him?
Well, I think that's one of the biggest plays in the game. I thought was the 4th down and 1 that we had right there at midfield. We didn't get. We didn't want to give the ball back to them for obvious reasons. And we felt good about that play. We did not get the first down. To me, that was the play of the game. And we give the ball back to them, and they were able to go and missed the coverage on the back end and hit Travis for a touchdown right there. For them to go ahead, and really, because it was a one-possession game, now that takes it for 2 possession games, and I thought that was really the play of the game offensively. We didn't put our defense in a good spot. But then we came out in the third quarter, defense did a good job, get the ball back to us, but I do think that momentum swing right before halftime was huge, obviously in their favor. Well, I think it's tough to stop this offense, right? You got some of the best receivers in the country that are playing out there with Shador, that's extremely accurate, poised, experienced. When those guys are open, he's going to hit them, and they're going to catch it, and they're going to make plays. So they're hard to stop. If you bring pressure, then now obviously it's man-to-man out there, and you got to win that one-on-one battle. If you don't bring pressure, then you got more guys back. But it's just a cat and mouse game there, and it's obviously hard to win. It's I think most teams have a hard time stopping them, including us.
To go off of Monica's question, how important were those 2 early touchdowns in a wild atmosphere to stay even with them and give your guys a fighting chance early on?
Yeah, it was great. I think we get the ball first, we don't do anything with it, they go score. But our guys battled back offensively. We came back down, we had a couple good drives there. Get it 14-14. Like you mentioned, it was a great environment. On the road in the Big 12 at night. There's a lot of stuff going against us, but our guys showed great poise, I thought, early in the game, not to get down and not to start looking around like, oh, what's happening. They kept playing, and I think that same thing in the fourth quarter. It had been real easy at 31-14 this hour. Man, this game's over. We had a good try. Let's just go back to Cincinnati. They didn't do that. They kept playing. They kept fighting all the way to the end there, and it just didn't go our way there at the end of the game.
On that 4th and 1 at the end of the first
Yep.
half, you went empty.
Mhm.
Did you see their defensive line get penetration? Did Brendan make the wrong read?
Yeah, I mean they had a 5-man front up, so every lineman's covered, and a linebacker in the box as well. And then we motion our tight end in, so now you bring in another guy in there. So it basically comes down to one-on-one blocking, and you got to just find a lane to go through there. We've run this play many times. We've gotten first downs on it. We've scored on it. On film, they had given up that play this year. So for all those reasons, we thought it was a good call. They made a good play. We didn't get any movement right there, and just didn't get anything really. So we got stalemated. So, but it's one of those things. We felt like it was a good enough risk for us to go get that, and we just did not make it.
You knew the receivers were fast, or are they faster in person?
No, I mean they're fast on film and person. I mean they're the same. I mean they're good. The two little ones they're not very big, but they're extremely fast. I mean they're throwing bubbles out there, and they're still getting the big plays and big yards. 14's a bigger guy, and then Travis can do it all. So it's a tough matchup. For us, and really I think it's a tough matchup for a lot of people they play, particularly when you got a guy that can get them the ball.
Kind of going off that first play in the last drive to Travis, how much of a gut punch is that to just kind of look at it and be like, he just made a play?
Yeah.
Not in that situation.
Yeah, well, and we were all over him and held him, and he still made it. I mean, I don't know what else you do, right? I mean, just it was a great play. I mean, he just threw it up, and Travis made a great play on it, and that's why he's a great player.
Similar to that, early in the third quarter, there was a play, Minkins gets called for a hold, and Van Carlos went a touchdown. How much of a backbreaker was that, knowing you had a third down stop, but then there was a hold on the back end?
Yeah, it was frustrating on third down. I think a lot of times tonight, there was a couple of drives where I thought, man, we kept getting them to third downs, 3 and 4 times in this one, particular drive, and then they just kept getting it. It's frustrating, and I think, and then a couple of penalties that we had defensively that helped them out, just like the one you're mentioning. We hit the quarterback into the head one time, and that was 15 yards. We had a substitution penalty on one. That was 5 more yards on the same drive. So, those are plays where you're just giving them yards. They're good enough. We don't need to give them yards.
Cantor left the field, anything?
Yeah, he was not able to come back, so I'm not sure what it was. I mean, obviously we'll know more this week. But, again, late in the season like this, you got a lot of nicks and bruises. Dante went down. Cantor goes down. At halftime, I know we were good. We were clean. Everybody was good to go. So we'll just have to see how he is. He was not able to finish the game.
What's the biggest thing you guys have to fix during the bye week?
Well, I mean, we just got to go back and, again, we always in the bye weeks go back and look at our deficiencies and try to get better at whatever that is, and try to enhance whatever we're doing good, and really try to focus on the things that we are doing good, and that's the stuff that we need to do, as we head into the rest of the season. We know we got obviously a tough schedule as we head to the last 4 games. We've got 2 at home, 2 on the road. I've been against a bunch of good football teams. So we got to take this bye week and try to get healthy, try to get as healthy as we possibly can, continue to work with our young guys, and because we think they're really some really good players, continue to make them better, and then go back and do a self-scout and look at what we're doing and try to tweak those things so we're not doing some of the things where teams know that's happening, and then really figure out what we're doing well, and let's go do that when we play West Virginia.
Last question.
You've mentioned twice in the past week that you've been playing for Big 12 Championship every week. Even with tonight's loss, do you still feel like there's a lot to play for, even maybe a shot at playing in the Big 12 Championship?
Yeah, there's a lot of ball left, when you think about 4 more games. I mean, we got 2 losses in the Big 12. There's a lot of stuff that can happen in this conference, and I think everybody knows how anybody can beat anybody in this conference, depending on travel, depending on where you're going, depending on your injuries, all the things that happen. It's still wide open. So, yeah, I mean, we're still going to compete and play and try to go win all these games. I mean, we'll take it one game at a time, and so for the next 2 weeks, we'll be getting ready for West Virginia.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.